Hi everyone, my name's Noah. I'm in third year studying international relations, and I've been a part of Origin since my first year at UBC. I had an experience during the first semester of this year that I wanted to share with you, where God taught me a few really important things. So I was in France on exchange. And one of the first things that I noticed about France, and one of the first things that was really difficult for me to deal with, on top of things like language barrier and culture shock, of course, was the absence of Christian community, and the absence of Christianity in general, and sort of the institutionalized atheism that exists in France and in the city that I was living in. Because of this, I was suffering with feelings of isolation, feelings of being alone in my faith, and I was having a hard time. And so I was forced to spend time alone in my room with my Bible and in prayer. So it was me and God in my room, and that was it. And so at first this was really tough, and I was feeling really alone. But I think because I was forced to spend so much time in prayer and in my devotions, God really increased my heart for it, and He really increased my ability to feel His presence being alone. And I grew, I think, a significant amount in prayer. I remember reading my devotions one morning, and 2 Chronicles 7:14 really stood out to me. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. I think the reason this verse stood out to me was because, first of all, I experienced it, I think, 4 or 5 times throughout the same week via social media. A sermon that I was listening to actually mentioned this verse. And so this verse was really being, I think, obviously shown to me. And I think the reason it stood out is because I was in a land that was really in need of a spiritual healing and a spiritual awakening. And so through this verse, through prayer, God broke my heart for the people of France, and He really showed me how I could spend time alone with God, and despite the absence of Christian community, which is a negative thing, really increase something that's really good and increase my time spent with Him. This has been continuing throughout my time at UBC. My heart for prayer has only grown. I was originally scared it was going to be a spiritual high. I was scared that it was going to fade away, but if anything, it's grown in my heart for prayer. My heart for this campus and the people that I'm around to experience the presence of God has grown tremendously, and so I'm actually thankful for this thing that was originally a negative thing to be turned into something positive. I think another really cool thing God was able to show me was He prompted me to go to spaces that I was out of my comfort zone in. These things included bars and nightclubs, because this was the idea of how to have a good time while I was in France, and there was no other, I guess, area where community was experienced in. And so I was prompted to go to these areas to make friends, and you would be surprised at the conversations God was able to open up in the midst of me playing pool in a bar with a friend. Conversations about morality, conversations about the way that I live my life and how it's different and why I do it. And so I think this experience was really amazing. I just wanted to encourage everyone at Origin who is maybe self-isolating, being away from people. My experience of self-isolation at first was not, when I was in France, was not a choice. It was really tough, although if we spend this time slowing down and actually praying with God and meeting with Him and in our Bibles maybe a little more than we're used to, God can use it in a really powerful way and turn something really negative into amazing personal growth, amazing spiritual growth, and who knows, maybe our hearts of prayer will be grown, and we'll be burdened together to seek His face and to see our city changed for Him. Thank you.